Welcome to the Gridiron Round-Up with your host, Randy Silver. We break down the biggest sports stories from our favorite game, football. Today we have your college football Week 5 preview, news, storylines, rankings, matchups, analysis. So much to go over this week. Let's dive into it for you. The biggest news of the week, Mel Tucker from Michigan State has officially been fired for cause as the coach. We've been giving you this story, so we want to continue to give it to you because it's really important. Mel Tucker, former head coach of Michigan State football. He had just signed a 10-year, $80 million contract or 8-year, $100 million contract, something like that. A lot of money. 2 years in the contract, he was accused of sexual harassment with a woman who is a sexual harassment advocate, trying to prevent it. And they found that he lied to the school. He lied to the university about his conversations with her, what happened, where it happened, all this stuff. Because of the results of the investigation, they could fire him without cause, meaning that they don't have to pay him the $80 million left on his contract. You can assume he probably will sue or fight back and see what he can do, but such a fall from disgrace. He was 11-2 at Michigan State. That's where he got the big contract, and now he's out, and they will have an interim coach the rest of the season. As this continues to go forward, we will continue to get more information. Big black eye on the program right now. If you remember Michigan State, a couple years ago, they dealt with the Nasser situation, the Olympic gymnastics physical trainer or team doctor, something like that, where he was sexually harassing and sexually touching children, women in the program. So not a good look for Michigan State again. Kansas State coach Chris Klieman says he will not be a candidate for Michigan State position. He just signed a new contract, 8 years for $4 million to stay at Kansas State. Obviously, Michigan State is just a bigger program, bigger step up. He says he will stay, so we'll see if that stays true. Cool to see here. Colorado's Travis Hunter, out a couple weeks injured due to the hit provided by Colorado State's Henry Blackburn. Were able to meet up and hung out, and they dabbed up right here, all squared away. Blackburn and his family have been getting death threats for the hit that he put on Hunter. Was it late? Yes. It's a game of football. Things happen. Probably shouldn't have done it, but they're here together. They made up. Everyone leave Blackburn's family alone. Hopefully Hunter can come back soon. He will not be playing against USC this weekend, which we'll talk about. Here's your college football rankings. In our video of the weekend, we talked about the AP poll, top 25. Now the coaches poll's out, so we can just quickly go through it. Your top two are the same, Georgia, Michigan. In the AP poll, they have Texas, Ohio State, Florida State in your top 5. Ohio State, Florida State, Texas. So just change around. Nothing changed. Will change there. However, a win can make you go up. A loss can make you go down. This will shake itself out. Then you have in the AP poll, Penn State, Washington, USC, Oregon, Utah. Here you have USC, Penn State, Washington, Oregon, Utah. Again, top 10, all the same teams, just a different bit of an order. Then scrolling down, you can see where other teams land. Alabama 11, Alabama 12, LSU right there. Notre Dame's a bit higher. In the coaches poll, they fell down a little bit. Who fell out? You'll get to see right here that Colorado fell out of both after their big loss to Oregon. So now you can see where everything is at right here. And again, on the weekends, we do a review show for you. On Sunday, we put all this out for you. Heisman tracker. Right now, Penix Jr. from Washington, University of Washington, is the front runner. Second is reigning Heisman Trophy winner Caleb Williams of USC. Bo Nix is third of Oregon after his trouncing of Colorado. Good win. That moved. Then because of the loss, Shedeur Sanders, who was an early favorite, is now off the list. Travis right here is fourth, and then you have Ward fifth. When we look at the rankings, you can see where they're actually ranked. This is based off of points. We have Penix Jr. from Washington, 304 passing yards per game, 4 total touchdown reception in week 4. You can see where still the votes are. Caleb Williams, overall 1,200 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 3 rushing. Sorry, I said this wrong for Penix. 1,600 passing yards, 16 total touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Great. When we look at Bo Nix Jr., 11 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1,100 passing yards. He has a well-rounded team around him, not doing a lot. Jordan Travis from Florida State, 1,000 passing yards, 10 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 interception. Not bad, but not up there with Penix. And then you got Washington State QB, 14 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 109 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. QBs from Texas, Keenan Ayers got a couple votes. Keenan Coleman, wide receiver, Florida State, has a couple votes. This will be fun when Washington State play each other. Washington, USC play each other. USC, Oregon going to play each other. Washington, Oregon are going to play each other. So this will all shake itself out like it did for Knicks and Sanders. But right now, here you go. This is your Heisman Watch. Notice that most are in the Pac-12. Here are your overall college football leaders. Final start. Here's your college football leaders. Final stats. Offensive leader, Michael Penix Jr., 1,600 passing yards. Why is the Heisman favorite? Sanders second with 1,410. Rushing yards, Audric Estimine from Notre Dame, 591. Next is Nate Noel. Receiving-wise, you have Xavier Legette from South Carolina with 556. Interception-wise, a couple people have 3. We look at sacks. Some people there with 5 and 5.5. Leading is Jonah Ellis from Utah. And then we look at defensive leaders, tackles. Tyrese Knight, UTEP has 66 already. Jason Henderson has 60. Pretty nice job there. We look at team stats. Offensive leaders, as you expect. The QBs are doing well. That means their teams are doing well. Washington, Oregon, USC in total yards. Defensive leaders, points allowed, Michigan. They haven't really played anybody. Ohio State just played Notre Dame, but they haven't played anybody. Why it's so low. Passing makes sense again. Same 3 teams. Rushing, Air Force with that ground raid is crushing it. Only team averaging 300-plus yards rushing a game. You see the rest right there. And then yards allowed. Penn State, who have they played? Not a lot yet. I mean, they just beat the top 25 team, thrashed them, but their season will get harder. And then sacks, James Madison and Louisiana are tied with 18. 12. Speaking of Pac-12, big game on Friday. 4-0 Utah, number 10 in the nation, versus 3-1 Oregon State, 0-1 the Pac-12, number 19. This game will be at Corvallis in Oregon. So Utah's got to go on the road. This will be fun atmosphere. Friday night lights for you. Penn State Northwestern. This is the top 25 board. Big game. Not as big as it was a week ago because Colorado's lost to Oregon the way they lost. But you get Caleb Williams versus Shedeur Sanders. No Travis Hunter, fortunately. USC Colorado. In Colorado. 12 p.m. kickoff Eastern. Get up early. Pacific fans. 9 a.m. for you. Florida Kentucky. Big SEC game. Georgia Auburn. Very big SEC game. Auburn's 3-1. If they win this, obviously will become ranked. Game could be closer than you expected for an unranked team against Georgia. Michigan, Nebraska. Can Nebraska do anything against Michigan? Kansas, Texas, usually a big basketball matchup. You can see right here 2 ranked NCAA teams. Texas obviously normally ranked. Kansas is on the up and up in the football program. This should be fun. Missouri, Vanderbilt. LSU, Ole Miss. Big SEC matchup again. Oregon, Stanford. Last time they'll be playing for a while when Stanford goes to ACC. Oregon's going to the Big Ten. Iowa State, Oklahoma. Notre Dame, Duke. Other big game. This is in the ACC. Technically, Notre Dame's independent, but they do a lot of ACC stuff here. 7:30 p.m. ABC. This is your big game of the week for television on ESPN, ABC. South Carolina, Tennessee. Alabama, Mississippi State. Washington, Arizona. Old school Pac-12 rivalry. And then Nevada versus Fresno State. That's your top 25. Just so you can see the games for the schedule, where your favorite team may be lining up. Cincinnati, BYU, Louisville, NC State, some bigger games on Friday. And then your Saturday games are right here based off of the time slot. So you can see all your D1 games right here. Cool. So a quick high level in some games. We talked about Utah versus Oregon State. Predictors, Oregon State to win at home. When we look at the weather, 64 degrees. Could be rain. Rainy Oregon getting to that fall weather. Utah's 1-0 in the conference, 4-0. Oregon State's 0-1 in the conference, 3-1 overall. We look at the team stats. Oregon's offense is wild. I should say Oregon State. 460 yards, total yards. While Utah's is 322. Defense-wise, Utah's only giving up 263. Oregon State's giving up 327. So what we'll give, either Oregon State's offense or Utah's defense is the win. We saw what Utah's defense did against UCLA last week. So this will be a very fun game on Friday night. Should be a high-powered affair, USC versus Colorado. After the trouncing against Oregon, USC is a 90% favorite to win. One more time, 90% favorite to beat Colorado in Colorado. Game should be fun. It will be sold out. They don't have Travis Hunter for Colorado, but hey, they got Sanders versus Williams. This should be a fun matchup to see. Look at total yards for USC offense. Yeah, yes, you're reading that right. 570 total yards USC offense, 400 plus for Colorado. Defense-wise, both are giving up a lot. When you see that Colorado's defense is giving up 476 yards per game, this is why they think USC is a good trounce. Their offense will have a field day. Low 50s in Colorado. Early start, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. USC's 2-0 in conference, 4-0 overall. Colorado's 0-1 in conference and 3-1 overall. Another ranked game here. Kansas versus Texas. Texas has a 93% chance to win. Whew, even bigger. Wild. Why do they think that? When we look at the total yards, they're pretty similar. And total offense, when we look at total defense, very similar. They just think Texas has better players, overall team. Kansas not ready for the spotlight, even though they're 4-0. They're 1-0 in conference. Texas 4-0, 1-0 in conference. They're both right there. This will be a massive, massive game to see who can take the early lead in the Big 12 conference standings. Game will be played DKR Texas Memorial Stadium. A hot 87-degree day, middle afternoon, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. This should be a fun game. Definitely go watch this after the early morning slate. Another ranked game, you have LSU versus Ole Miss. Much closer game, 56% chance Ole Miss versus 43% LSU, which is interesting. Game is being played here at Vaught Henway Stadium in Mississippi. That's maybe why they get the home advantage. 83 degrees, should be a nice day. Should be loud, should be a fun game. Ole Miss just lost to Alabama, so they're going to be looking to bounce back and try to get on the W. When we look at the SEC conference here and their division, Ole Miss is 0-1, LSU is 2-0. If Ole Miss wants the chance to compete to get to the title game, they need to win this game. If not, their chances are pretty much over for a conference title or get to the chance for a conference title. When we look here at total yards, LSU is 530 versus 470. High-powered offenses. Yards allowed, 360 to 350. So we expect this to be, a 30-point type of game right here. There's a lot of offense happening. The other big game that's on national television, ABC. ESPN's putting all the spotlight on. I think game day may be going or not. Or maybe they're going to USC, Colorado. But Notre Dame versus Duke, 11-17. Big game. Duke's obviously perennially a basketball college. They're doing very well football this season, 4-0. Notre Dame's projected to win 70-30. When we look at the total yards, 477 Notre Dame to 425 Duke. Defenses are doing very well, 260, 276. So expect this probably to be a teens, low 20s type of scoring affair. Should be fun in Durham. 40,000 people, full capacity. It'll be sold out, 70 degrees and sunny, 7:30 p.m. start time. Duke's 1-0, while Notre Dame's independent, so they're technically not in here. But they're 4-1 overall. Notre Dame trying to get over that loss to Ohio State, last second loss. Can they come up and can they get this bounce back win and put them right back into the title picture? And then finally, here are your college football standings. So if you want to take a quick look, AAC, Memphis is winning. ACC, Florida State's winning with Louisville right there. Again, this is extremely early still. Big 12 conference, you have Kansas Jayhawks, Oklahoma. Big 10 East, you got Penn State, and then Big 10 West, you got Wisconsin, Conference USA, Liberty, Independence, here you go. Mid-American Conference, Ohio, and then for the West, Toledo. Mountain West, Air Force 2-0 in the top. Pac-12, USC, Oregon leading from the front. SEC, Georgia in the East. LSU in the West. And then Sun Belt, you got Georgia State in the East and Arkansas State in the West. That was your college football Week 5 preview. My name is Randy Silver. This has been the Gridiron Roundup. Comment your thoughts. On Sundays, we put out the Gridiron Roundup review, so that way you can hear, see, review, understand everything that happened in college football. We also have the MA Roundup, We have Hoops Roundup, and we have European Football Roundup for you. So we have so much on, excuse me, Randy Silver TV. Thank you for watching today. It's been Randy. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you on Sunday. Bye, y'all. Enjoy college football.